The fact that David Walliams has left Britain's Got Talent and been replaced by Bruno Tonioni is almost insignificant. David Walliams is a personable and clever personality, and I'm sure that the hot mic situation where he was heard saying things which were inappropriate was as much contrived as stupid. But is Bruno Tonioni any better? Well, maybe, but is that change enough to save the show? Because the real problem with the show is the problem that bedevils a lot of reality TV, that a lot of it is fixed. That people, as in the XFactor, are encouraged to go on to the show to make fools of themselves or to be manipulated so that they look foolish at the final. The producers have clearly got their own ideas about who they want to win, and they're going to make sure that happens. Such is the nature of, quote, the reality TV and the talent show, quote, talent show. I think there's every place for a proper talent show, but this is not it. And it's taken many years, nearly 20 years, for the public to weary of this parade of humiliation. And maybe it's time to question whether this is the right thing to do. People's lives are ruined by XFactor and Britain's Got Talent. And yes, of course, both programs are tremendous because they give novelty acts and stars an opportunity to perform and do their thing in an environment that doesn't otherwise exist. And that really is the issue. We don't have a showcase for novelty acts, for the sort of thing which in the past made up the music hall. The music hall is still in vogue. Britain's Got Talent, XFactor, and shows which are called talent shows demonstrate exactly that fact. We like that. In fact, that is the nature of a lot of YouTube, that you turn from one performance to another, exactly as you would in the past in the music hall. And in the past, in the 1970s, even in the 1980s, there were television formats that catered to that demand, particularly in the weekends when there was a family audience on television. And we've finally got to the point where the only show that does that is Britain's Got Talent. And Britain's Got Talent wants to give the impression that it's judging things, wants to give the impression that Simon Cowell is more important than the people that he's finding. My goodness, will he drive that point home. I think this is one side of the cruelty of reality TV. It's one side of the manipulation of reality TV. It's got nothing to do with fame or the loss of fame or whatever. And a lot of the performers on Britain's Got Talent are already on the circuit, are already professional. They just haven't been discovered in a national or international way yet. We need a revival of something like the good old days. We need a revival of something like Saturday night, Sunday night at the London Palladium, but a proper version. And I think there's a demand for this. And if we don't meet the demand, then I think terrestrial TV, BBC, ITV, Channel 4 is likely to die out. Because YouTube and social media provide that quick fix of entertaining performances and that diet of variety. That's what we call it, variety shows. The difference about television is it can afford to pay for decent performance. And while it's spending all that money on these so-called judges, it's not spending the money on the talent. The talent is what should get the money, and the talent is what should be nurtured, not Simon Cowell and his friends.